Are here this week with Alan Johnson from the Back Off Alliance Business Affiliate Partners. We're really
and he was right alongside Ben Davis. Like, I got pictures that I drew of Ben and Cran. Like, I grew up around old school players. So a lot of that, you know, it missed me. A lot of the things that I see golfers worrying about now, distance and all that, like, I didn't grow up around that. I grew up around the old school guys who were make that birdie putt, go bump around from 100 yards off the green. So that's how I grew up. And then I continued on to play AJGA, and then high school, and then college, and then I went to Alabama State. I was Alabama State's golf team. Then I got hired in a Ford Motor Company, kind of gave up golf for a hot second. Then they had a buyout, and I took that buyout and tried to go pro. That's when I played on the APGA tour for a little bit. I went back to University of South Florida, finished my degree in engineering. And then somewhere in there, I started, it just occurred to me that I wanted to be a better putter. You know, like that was always like it always seemed like the thing that was like holding me up, because I can hit the 300-yard drives, I got the accuracy and all that stuff, but you can't walk out of there with two putts over and over again. And so I just kind of like, I was always a tinkerer, and I developed this thing, and I'll describe later how it progressed to what it is now, because it didn't start out like it is now. And then, but you know, I just started networking, and while I was like researching and paying attention because everybody else's issues might not be mine, but surprising enough, everybody kind of does have the same issue. Like leaving putts short is like a shot to the gut, you know, or pushing a putt that was simple, it's like a shot to the gut. So that's all that played into the development of the invention. And then came out with it. You want me to tell you the part about the
yeah, some of the challenges that you face.
So, I mean, and you know what? And there's a lot of, like, this, honestly speaking, there's a lot of African American inventors out there. Like us, I never would imagine the amount of people that have come up to me. I'm thinking they're coming to give me a handshake, and they're like, "Hey, so I got an invention. You know, can you tell me?" Manufacturing all that. So, you know, but I went through that whole process, and it's funny because the trademark thing ended up being the biggest hurdle for me, because you can do the research you want to do, and if it comes up that whatever name you came up with is free and clear, you never know. Even when you pay for it, they tell you it's only a 98% chance that it's free and clear, because, you know, and a lot of people don't understand how big of an issue that is, because that trademark is going to be your bank account. It's gonna be your, you know,
who you are,
everything. So, right, you know, so somebody product was called the Spider Putting System, and about 4 or 5 months in, I went out to the PGA golf show. This was 2018, I think. Golf Digest was going around reviewing all the different products there, and they came by me, and the writer loved it, like right off the bat. He's like, I love this. I'm taking notes. You know, I'm not promising you anything, but I really like it. Would you have any problem sending me a sample out to the, Golf Digest? I'm like, of course. Send it out. And then, like I said, about 4 months later, I get a letter from TaylorMade. They actually had bought one. Sent me the picture. They bought one. They're like, this is your product. This is the name. It's really close to our putter. Here's our putter. Here's our product. Here's our name. Here's how much muscle we got. What do you want to do?
Right.
So I'm like, all right. So, I just obviously went back to the drawing board. And then as luck would have it, Golf Digest called me back. And they're like, hey, we just did the article. We shot a video. Loved it. It's a 10-minute video. We went to check your website, and it looks like your website's down. so we can't run the article if the website's down. I'm like, well, the website's down because I changed the name. And I'm like, oh, wow, well, that's too bad for you. So we're going to go ahead and scrap this video, but we'll change the 3-paragraph article and you know, good luck. So it was, you know, it's kind of like, you know, that bittersweet kind of a thing. But I took a whole lot from that, you know, because the fact that I was on their radar that early in the game, the fact that, I mean, that email or that letter that I got from them, that was like a wake-up call that I needed to get people in order. You know, I needed to get an attorney retained. I needed to get, you know what I mean? You got to have a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
So all that kind of got me in the right place. It kind of kickstarted, you know, and I think I relaunched again, and now everything is going really well. The brand makes more sense now with the name. And so, you know, the rest is history.
That's great, man. It's really unique, man. And I honestly, I've known a little bit about you, but I didn't know you had such a deep golf pedigree, playing in college and really trying to, you know, BGA. That's great stuff, man. So you get it on all ends. So you get it from the, you know, the aspiring professional to the beginning golfer, right? So you get that, you know,
so
get that.
About, I think it was 2 years ago. Well, so if you're a player, you already know that whenever there's a scramble going on, everybody's calling you up. Hey, are you free this weekend? You know, we need a force. We need a. So I've always been that guy to help boost teams. You know, like
you were the ringer. You were the ringer.
Right. So, like, I hate to say it, but yeah, I'm the ringer.
You were the
ringer. And so, you know, and this is a thing that you got. Anybody that's been in the scramble can attest to this. You can stand behind somebody and watch them miss a putt. You can know exactly what their break is going to be, and all four of you will miss the putt. And so what that tells me, right, is that the issue isn't people's putting stroke. The issue is, can you hit your line?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
I do.
Because if you know what the read is, there's no excuse. You sat there and watched somebody do it 3 times, 3 different people. And when you watch them, you're watching people's ball come off their putter nowhere near where it's supposed to be. And when they get up, they're like, oh, it broke too much. Like, no, it didn't. It never had a chance. But people don't see it until, you know what I mean? So I took, like, all that played into a factor. And I'm like, you know what? I really believe that a lot of people are better golfers than they realize. They might have like a left eye, right eye dominance. They might do something, you know, they might think they're pointing here, but they're really pointing here and just not know it. So, you know, that was really the origin of the invention, because I wanted to get in here, not the hand eye, not the stroke and, you know, how pretty your release is and all that.
I like that, man. And you have it for indoor and outdoor. Right. So you kind of, you know, tweaked it to make it work both ways, huh? Or is it 2 separate devices?
So it's 2 separate devices now. The whole process of making a mold because, you know, it's like it's plastic. It's plastic. It's injected plastic. So, you know, for you to have moving parts means that's a whole nother mold for each moving part.
Right.
So in order for me to make, and I tried really hard to try to figure out a way for this to be indoor and outdoor, but the only way for that to happen would be for a much more expensive product that would like flip around and, you know, change the surfaces on the bottom. Yeah. And then the other thing I realized is that most golfers don't like to practice. It's just what it is, right? You know? And even though we all know you need to, and so it's almost like there's different levels of golfers that take it different seriously. So you might want the indoor because that's the only time you're, you know, in the winter or whatever. But once you get on the golf course, you're not thinking about practice. You're ready to play. But somebody like me, I'm going to go out and practice and not even play golf. A lot of days. Like there's been times where I went to the golf course, you know, 4 or 5 days in a row to spend an hour out there putting and never even took clubs. So I just feel like the indoor and outdoor kind of works out better because now it's catered to the individual.
That makes sense, man. That makes sense. So moving ahead a little bit, what do you think some of the misconceptions are about good golfers and amateur golfers?
So, okay, well, number one is I think that amateur golfers don't realize how many shots good golfers hit that we miss hit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I think beginners just assume that, and I'm saying we, and I just want to be, you know, completely transparent. I'm not,
Sure.
my average is not under par.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a plus,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll usually range anywhere from like scratch to 4.
Okay.
So that puts me in this weird area where I'm better than most of the guys I play golf with, but I'm not good enough to play and make millions of dollars.
Sure.
But, you know, I'm still pushing for it. And what I notice is when guys, like, I've played entire tournaments, won them even, with only hit a few good shots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if I thin a ball and it goes 200, but I expect it to go 210, it's just an up and down, and, you know. But to an amateur golfer, they're beating themselves up over not hitting balls, sculling it on the green. Oh my God! I'm like, no, that's not how golf works.
Taking it to the next hole with them, you know.
Right. Yeah, like you're compounding the issue over here, chasing perfection when it isn't. That's not what it's about. It's about like the number, whatever, you know, how you make it happen.
Sure, sure.
And so anyway, so I would say that's like the biggest thing I feel like with the amateur golfers. They're too worried about perfection. They won't even capitalize on the thing that's their bread and butter because they're too busy chasing something that they think that they should be doing, hitting 300-yard drives.
Sure, sure. And most of the games played within, you know, I guess 100 yards. And,
right.
You know what I mean? And really, I think your device really speaks to that because Neura Putt, I mean, you know, it's those putts would get me every time, man.
The short ones.
It's the short ones, man.
Right.
It's the ones that we should make. And, you know what I mean? That's something I don't think we can practice too much. So I think you're really on to something with that. Well, I don't have to tell you that. You already know that. But, you know, I could just co-sign it from sitting over here that,
right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. You know what I mean? And if you could, you know, translate that from the practice green or your basement to the course, man, you know, you've done a great job over there at Neuraputt, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, what I feel like is that, so this is one other thing I wanted to mention. If you look at the stats, all golfers are just as good as professional golfers from 2 to 3 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the ratio for the 15 handicap guy is going to be like a 92% from 3 feet, and a professional is going to be like 99%.
Okay.
Right around 3 feet is where 3 to 4 feet is where you start seeing the separation.
Mm.
And this is my theory. I feel like the reason why is because that's when the cup is outside of your peripheral vision. I feel like we're more comfortable when we can see the cup and our ball. But as soon as the cup is a little bit outside of your peripheral vision, now you're forced to remember where the ball, where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Now the challenge isn't your stroke. Now the challenge is to remember accurately where your target is. And
right. Right.
Because you're putting in the dark. Technically,
right.
You're not looking at your target when you putt.
Right.
And so I really like that whole concept of short putts. Like if we all just focus on making 100% of those, then that's where to start. Quit trying to make the 20-footers, make it where you never miss anything 5 feet in it. Then you're gonna see some scores.
That's good, man. Who you think are some of the best putters you've ever seen?
Hands down, I think Ricky Fowler. I do is just so clutch, because when it comes down to it, it's not an issue of, you know, what your putting average is. It's do you make the putts when they count?
Mm-hmm.
Like and Tiger, I don't even bother saying Tiger because that's like the go-to answer for so many categories.
Yeah. I respect that. Yep. He was just so clutch when he needed to be clutch. It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself.
Right. But I feel like I've seen Ricky do that a number of times.
Mm-hmm.
And his stroke is real simple. And I mean, and Spieth was obviously hot for a hot second.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, you know, that is where it is. But yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. And shout out to our producer, Ro Thompson. You know, when you said Ricky Fowler, Ro's team Puma all day. So he's in the background, you know, doing the fist bump. But that's great, man. That's great. So what's the easiest way people to follow you, man? Like, what is your social, where are you at on social media? Or, how do people buy your products? How can we, stay up on top of what Alan Johnson's doing in Neura Putt?
Okay. So, well, the website is www.neuraputt.com. Every time there's a new, social media platform out, I try to get on it and try to at least wrap the name up and get a couple of things up. So TikTok, I probably got 3 videos on TikTok now. And Instagram, same thing, Neuraputt. I think that pretty much covers it all. The only thing, there is a Facebook page for Neuraputt, but from what I can tell, it's not really all that, popping. I think the biggest thing right now is Instagram. And, because people just like to see videos.
Yeah.
And, and when you're trying to push something like a putting aid, you can kind of end up being redundant because there's so many things you can do. I mean, I'm lucky enough where my product is an indoor and outdoor, and you can use it for different things. It's not just, putting. You can set it up. You can work on dyeing cup falls in. You can set it off to the side, work on chipping from the fringe and using it just as a target, not necessarily as a the thing to make you aim better, but just as a portable target. It's good because it's round and everything. So yeah, all the social media platforms you can find, it's going to be neuraputt.com.
That's great, man. So what's your vision, man? Where are you going? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are you trying to do with the company?
Well, I want to so I have other products coming up down the road that I'm
nice.
Kind of tweaking and developing. I want to get into the entire putter fitting industry. I feel like that's the next thing. If people are already getting their drivers fitting their irons, why not putters? You would be surprised how many of our putts jump offline simply because we don't know that, the loft in our putter is making our ball skip. Or, our toe is up and that's making us pull stuff. We don't even realize it. We're worrying about, our swing path, and actually it's just that the loft or the lie on our putters are right. So that's where I kind of want to go. And I'm trying to get in a big box store like a Dick's or Play It Again Sports or, Golf Galaxy, that kind of thing. But, the path to get there is expensive, and you got to know the right people, and you got to be ready at the drop of a dime. If someone's like, hey, all right, we'll give you a shot. You got 10,000 units?
Right. Right. But you're right.
Give me a month or two, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, that's the game. And, and I'm trying to be prepared whenever it comes. And, the good thing is that my community, the Black golf community, has been embracing me since day one. And I try to stay humble about that. But, honestly, until I get to where I'm mainstream, I feel like it's it'll be like a slow progression. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I think that I definitely can see that happening for you, though, man. And like I said, we're excited to have you as an affiliate partner. Anything that we can do to support you. And I had mentioned earlier, man, I just, I really think that, the more we align and support each other and help each other, because, that's always been, a thorn in my side and some of my concerns, just really, getting behind each other and doing what we need to do, man. But I think that, Putt's going to be easy for everyone to get behind. Mainstream, the alliance, the whole community. I think, you're really doing some great things, man. So, I just want to, give you a shout out, man, and say we're really happy to have you. And, we looking forward to seeing you at the top. You know what I mean? I can see it. You know what I mean? Don't forget the little people when you get there.
Right. Yeah, I'll try not to be the Floyd Mayweather out here.
Right. Don't do a Floyd on me, man. Anything else you want to say, or our producer in the back, anything he wants to say?
Yeah, let me jump in here.
Absolutely.
Hey, Alan, it's great to have you on tonight, man. And I've seen your product out there, and I really do think my son needs your product. So
I got you covered.
Yes, man. Thank you. He's an up and coming junior player. We just got back from the MAC champ, and anything that we can do to support you. I've got a group called South Carolina Golfers. I need to get you in there. And you know, I'm connected to about 10 different golf groups, and so we'll do whatever we can to get you out there, man, and get the product out there and help boost your revenues, so we can get you to some of these big box stores that are out there. Okay.
Oh yeah, I love it. I appreciate that. And I told you guys off the bat, I mean, regardless, Neuraputt aside and, you know, the Philly thing aside, I really just, as soon as I heard about you guys and the other one, I wanted to be a part because, you know, like we're such a small minority, but we're so influential, and the passion's there. I see, you know, it really is impressive when I see like a guy or women, whatever, you know, when I see golfers, African American golfers that are beginners, but they still know the etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
They still have like the same type of passion where they're trying to improve, and they're doing it with like way less information than other people might have access to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's like, that's really like, I love it. I love it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll play with anybody,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you keep the pace.
Absolutely.
And as long as you stay, you know, positive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, don't chase my ball. I'm not chasing your ball. A good shot for you may not be a good shot for me, but we all know what's a good shot and what's a bad shot. So, you know, and as far as the African American community picking up the sport, there's so many avenues that you can get to. There's so many doors open up just because you know how to play. You don't even have to be good. Just know how to make contact and hit the ball. It's almost like
Absolutely.
having a degree. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
It's a beautiful thing to see it all come together, man. And you know, I'm just happy to be in some of the positions I'm in, you know. And you know, with the alliance, and you know, just, you know, I see all the pieces of the puzzle coming together, man, and you're an integral part of that puzzle, man. So I wanted to thank you for being on here tonight.
Thank you.
You know, once again, thank my producer, Ro Thompson. And, you know, we'll make sure we get this out there as soon as possible, man. And God bless. And, you know, you stay strong, man. We're going to see each other at the top.
Yep, I appreciate you. Thanks a lot, Alan. See you soon, bro.
Absolutely. Have a great one.